Welcome to another edition of Trigger Point Research Setups. What we do here is we're trying to find some type of way to look at charts a little bit differently. Our algorithms, of course, are busy working in the background, looking for those opportunities for breakouts and breakdowns, and of course subscribers do receive those on a regular basis. We've talked about Walmart and a few other stocks. We talked about the opportunity for a breakdown when support is broken, of course, and we also talk about a break up when there is support on the upside, resistance on the upside, is broken. One of the things I wanted to go over today is a company called Questcor. Now, a very volatile stock, yes. It's a pharmaceutical biotech company, but if you take a look at the patterns that we see on the screen right now, what we're seeing right now is that there is this general pattern that we're finding, and that you see a constant level of this movement on the upside, then down, then up. I mean, you know, it's kind of, you could say maybe there's a bit of a right here and a head and shoulders here, and then it dropped down, and of course on a traditional measure you go down to the base, and you kind of move down here, and you say, okay, it reached the target here, and you look at these kind of things from a traditional standpoint, and you can possibly do well. Now, what happened here? We saw this gigantic runoff, possibly all the way up to here, to about 42 from about 28 in a tremendous move, and then we saw a churning type of move. Now, again, there's different ways to look at these charts, and you can look at them and say, hey, you know what, this is not something that I'd be trading and something that I'd be interested in even looking at. But when you do look at this in a different manner, when we put on some of the important levels here, it shows a much different scenario. Now, for example, when we're looking at the level of where a support level is, so we have one here at about 28. We have a decent one over here at about 31. This is on a daily chart, okay? But when we see multiple ones across, and you see this one right here between the March, let's say 33.5, and currently where it is right now, we start to look at, hey, this is an interesting area that we may want to look for support. Now we go to, from the daily, we go to the weekly. Let's take a look here, and again we're seeing that if we can take a look at the multitude of support areas, we see that again there is support here. Now, in the past where we've seen a lot of support held within a relative nature of a small amount of noise, that happens to be a good time to look at this as a bounce candidate. Now just let's go back to the daily for a second, because I really want to focus in on one particular area. I want to look right about here. And when you're looking here and you see that in the June period at about 33.50, 33.60, there is a tremendous amount of support that's gone on, but the range from top to bottom, when we look at the area of about 39 to 40 to about right about 33.5 or so, there's been a lot of choppiness in there, and there's been a lot of movement and exhaustion move, etc. But at the same time, I think the important issue is that when we're looking at these levels right here and with a little bit of noise, hey, you know what? There's some great support there, and this may be an opportunity to just look at it and for a bounce. Now, when we look at this a little bit differently, we put on the maps and overlay the detail of where the support and resistance is. What we find is that there is a good amount of volume support right here. So from a risk-reward standpoint, it does make sense to look at Questcor right now as a potential candidate to move into, but have stops somewhere below here about, let's call it 33, I guess right about 33.25. And if the stock fails, obviously we know that there's going to be some downside, and we see that there's one bulk of support here, and then it just drops off down into the 30s. So looking for a bounce, this is something that we're looking at and something that would be a qualification for a bounce. And we hope that you do enjoy these, and in fact send out to your friends. Our channel on the YouTube network is available, and you can obviously find us at triggerpointresearch.com for a 14-day free trial. Thanks for listening today.